Hey everybody, it's Rachel from the Life Facilitator, and I am going to do a walkthrough of my planner setup for a trip where I'm about to go on. I'm going to do this first, and then I'm going to show some of my past planners for you. So this planner is a Prima Traveler's Journal. It is in the personal size, which I know that seems shocking. If you've followed me on Instagram for a while, this is not a size I gravitate to, but I think this I've tweaked the personal size a little bit, so I think it's going to work for me. And so let's get started. So inside, I don't have anything in the pockets because when I write, I like to be able to have a pretty flat surface here. So I don't put anything in the pockets, and that also leaves room for me to add things later to the pockets. And then I have a sticky note from Coco Daisy, and then my first insert is actually a trimmed down Webster's Pages insert, and it is 4 wide by 6.75. So it's a little bit wider than personal size, but it still fits really nicely in this notebook, so in this journal. So I think that'll work out fine. And the first insert is really the only insert I plan on using for this trip. We're going to Florence, and so I've just done just a really quick, I did some stamping and just a quick decoration of some of the pages so that the pages are ready to go. I'm going to be doing a day on 2 pages, and yeah, we'll be gone only for a couple days, so that also leaves the rest of the inserts for bigger photos or some more scrapbook layouts when I return. And so yeah, so that's that first. This is the first insert, and then some more sticky notes from Coco Daisy. I love these sticky notes. They're from a while ago, but I love them. And then I just have 2 extra inserts in here. Am I going to use them? Probably not, but just in case, I have an insert that's also a Webster's Pages insert that I have Simple Stories travel collection. I don't remember the name, but I will definitely link it. It's one of my favorites. Over the insert, just because I liked this cover better. And then this is just a lined insert, and I don't think I will actually end up using it on the trip, but it's here just in case. And then the last insert is a blank insert, and this is from Wandering Planners, that I've also trimmed down to the size. And again, just a blank insert. I might just use this to jot down notes that are non-travel related, more like a brain dump. I kind of always need a brain dump insert, and so this would be a good one for that. This will hold my washi cards, my actual cards, and then some. This actually is. These are some stickers that came on a big 12 by 12 sheet that I may want to use but didn't know where, and so it's actually on sticker paper. So I just threw a couple of these onto sticker paper so that I have them while I am on the go. This is going to seem silly because I will show you what else I'm bringing, but I don't know. And then I also stamped some phrases that I can just cut out and use. This idea gave me another idea to actually download and print a bunch of digital stamps that I will be showing you as well. But yeah, so this is the setup. There's a little zipper pocket in the back that I have a few more washi cards in, and yeah, this I'm excited about this size. I think this size is going to actually be really good. It's just a little bit smaller than a standard traveler's notebook, but it still, I think, will give me plenty of space to write and to add decoration and whatnot. I did make myself a pencil board. This pencil board is made out of actually plastic table mat that I just trimmed down. And yeah, so that goes in here too. And yeah, so that's my setup for my planner for the trip. I will be bringing my sprocket. Always bring my sprocket. I have a pencil pouches from Cocoa Daisy with way more pens than is humanly necessary. And then a scissors, so a glue pen, and then a ruler. So that all goes in there. And then I'm bringing, this is from We Are Memory Keepers. It is a like travel, I don't remember the name of it, but the idea is that you can place your traveler's notebook insert in on the board, and kind of it's like a mobile workstation. And so I have this. This is what I wanted to mention, is that I'm making a mess. I printed some digital stamps from, Everyday Explorers. And some of these are on clear sticker paper, and some of these are on white sticker paper. And that way, I love stamps, but I can't travel with them, and so this will help me. This will allow me to still use stamping in my journal, but in sticker form, which I'm super excited about. I'm excited to see how that works out. And then, yeah, so that's this little setup. And then I also have a folder that this will be where all my like ephemera and things that I pick up from the trip will go in here, and then hopefully into either my traveler's notebook or into my weekly memory keeping in my happy planner. Yeah, I know it seems excessive to have 2 rulers and 2 glue sticks, but not to me. They're really necessary when I'm travel journaling, and so I will put them literally everywhere. Okay, so that's that set up. And so this will go in my bag. This will go in my backpack. I should also mention I only travel with a backpack and a personal item typically, because I don't want to pay to check a bag. And so everything has to fit in there, and it does, which is really nice. And then the last thing is my insane amount of travel goodies I could use to decorate with. There's like more things than I can even possibly show you, but what I did want to show you is this is the printable from, I think, January of 2018 for Cocoa Daisy. I printed 2 on 1 page so that I had a slightly smaller scale for all of these, and they're printed on printer paper or sticker paper, so I can just cut them out and add them as needed. This is probably one of my favorite collections, and I wanted to use the printable in my journal. Okay, so that's that's everything I'm bringing for the trip. So my decoration, my travel workstation, my sprocket, and then planner, pencil pouch. So that's everything that's coming with me. Now I'm going to show you a couple things a couple previous travel planners that I've used when traveling. Okay, so here are some past planners that I've used when I have gone on previous trips, and I'm going to just walk through them one by one. So this is a personal size planner from Carpe Diem. However, I took the rings out, and so it, for me, was a B6 Traveler's Notebook. And I used this for our trip to Spain last summer. We were in Tarragona for about a month, and so this is what I used for the whole trip. The first section of the insert is a weekly section, and so I just jotted things each day, kind of a broad overview of everything we did that day. And I did this in real time, so I tried not to, because we didn't have a lot pre-planned, I kind of planned as I went. But I did leave enough weeks so that all the weeks could be in the front. And then the back, this section is my daily section. And it typically ended up being like a day per page, or a day per 2-page spread, just kind of depending. And I loved this. This is probably one of my favorite memory planners to look back on, and I so enjoyed this process. And I did most of it while I was on the trip. In fact, I did all of it on the trip. And yeah, it was great. I spent probably about 20 minutes every morning decorating or memory keeping for the day before, and that worked out really well. And I have a little interlude where part of the trip is also in this insert. This is actually from Michael's, I believe, and then this is a Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebook insert that I trimmed down. This is just a regular grid notebook. So the first part we took a mini trip, and so for the first part I'm just bullet journaling, literally, and then I can't even help myself. I always go back to the stickers because I just love stickers. So this is sort of toward the end of the trip. And yeah, some days had no photos, and other days had lots of photos. But I still made sure to memory keep every day of the trip. And then this is actually the end of the trip. And then this is the rest of August. This is not on my trip, but I thought I'd just flip through it anyway. So for the rest of August of last year, I kind of did a daily page planner, just because I liked it so much when on my trip that I just kind of kept doing it. And really, yeah, and a lot of just sort of de-stash stickers and whatnot in here, or stuff from my stash. And that's that insert. So this was a really nice setup. I really liked the Traveler's Notebook. It was really small. It fit really nicely in my purse. I'll just show a comparison to the one I'm bringing. So the one I'm bringing is actually quite a bit smaller, or thinner, and that's part of the, I think I'm gonna like this size a little bit more. This got a little, not that it was hard to carry around, it's just I think this might be a little easier to carry. Okay, next planner is my France planner. So this past summer we went to France for 10 days, and I've done a flip-through. Oh, I want these stickers. I'm gonna put these over there. I have already done a flip-through of this on my channel, and so if you want to look back, I'll link it. I've actually done 2 flip-throughs of this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. But basically, what I wanted to try to do is see if an A5 system would work traveling. I like the idea of just sort of printing everything out and putting it in the planner. And the only way that A5 works for me traveling is clipbook style, where it's just super thin, or Filofax notebook style. So yeah, this planner worked really well. I really loved it, and got some good journaling and memory keeping in while I was on the trip. And again, I am the kind of person that if I don't do it on the trip, it's not going to happen. So I make sure to take time to at least do the journaling, at least have sort of a running log of what we did on the trip. And so that was the first part, and then the actual planner part was in the back. So here's the first week that we were on the trip. I was using a week on one page layout, and while I think this is a great layout, I actually think it's a really good layout for like regular planning. For travel, it's a little bit trickier because, as you can see, I just totally ran out of space. I mean, I was totally running out of space. But I love looking back on this. I love this page, and I really like how it turned out. It's just not a system I would use in the future for travel. These are just we were back from our trip at this point. So this planner was great. I was actually really surprised how much I liked, I couldn't believe it, rings. I'm not very much in rings anymore. It's not a system that works for me all the time. However, I always find myself jumping back into rings. So yeah, if you're a ring-bound planner girl and you want something smaller for any reason, you must get the Clipbook. It's so great. So yeah, this system worked pretty well. It was too big, and I knew it was going to be too big, but I wanted to try it anyway. So that's this one. And then lastly, I used a Filofax notebook for a trip to Australia recently, and I've moved it all onto discs into a cover that I made, but this system is awesome. This would be, if I were to go back to using an A5 layout for a trip, this would be the way I would do it for sure. It's so slim. I mean, even compared to the notebook I'm going to take, I mean, yeah, my notebook is smaller, but holy moly, look at that. Like, just way different in slimness, but I still think I'm going to like this. Anyway, so I had it in here, and it worked really well. I have a flip through of the setup of this on my stories, or my IGTV, and if you're interested. But here's what it ended up looking like in the end. So I had a monthly overview, and I printed out my accommodations and stuff. What I found though, and this is just trial and error, I always end up just referring to this information on my phone, or all I really need typically is the confirmation number, so I will write that down like right before I go, but I don't need a whole printout of information. Ideas of what to do, and then these are just extra photos. And then here's the actual layout. So I had a day on 2 pages, so morning, afternoon, and evening. I loved this setup. I loved being able, it allowed me to do kind of what I automatically do, which is sort of a running bulleted list of what we did, and then some journaling, and then sort of junk journaling on this side. And I'll just flip through it real quick. Yeah, this was really fun to put together. This is probably the most fun I had with a travel journal. And when I got home, I added things in. I punched things after I got back so that they would fit into the planner. Some days I journaled a lot. Some days it was all about the photos. Yeah, so the nice thing about the notebook system is it actually works with because of the way it's set up, these punches line up with any sort of standard disc-bound planner punch. So that's really handy. There's that. Yeah, some days just had more stuff than others. There's blanks because I still have some things I want to add. And yeah, and some more I want to add on this page. But generally speaking, I'd say I'm like 90% done with this trip journal. And what's great is now I have it like as its own little journal, and it's nice and small and fits on my shelf really well. So yeah, so those were my planner setups, or travel planner setups from before. And leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm sure I'm going to get some questions, and I'm sure there's going to be things I forgot to mention, so feel free to leave comments. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like or a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.